Our next guest knows exactly how important it is for political figures to put their best foot forward when it comes to the media spotlight and how censorship can affect that calculation for voters. Joining us now is Todd Cefaratti, the co-founder of the Tatum Report and the author of the book Big Tech Tyrants. So when we talk about this conversation, Todd, it's an important one because there's a war of information going on in this country. I mean, we live in a polarized world where sometimes the other side of the story doesn't always get there, and sometimes viewers are looking for information that really just solidifies what they're looking for to begin with. Do you suspect that between now and November, that war over information will be even exacerbated?
Yeah, hi, Alex. First, thanks for having me on the show. Not only do I think it's already happening, the amount of posts and so forth just on Twitter alone that have been shadow banned and even deleted. A lot of top conservatives have been deleted in the past 45 days or so as it gets closer to the election. Facebook is taking measures. They're getting a lot of pressure from other organizations, left-wing organizations. It's getting worse. When it gets to the president, when they start deleting and shadow banning videos from the president's son, who they've suspended, they don't even try to hide it anymore. It's out there, and it's only going to get worse to election day.
And I think one of the problems, too, is that nobody is necessarily fact-checking the fact-checkers. In fact, I'll tune into CNN at the end of the debates, the convention, and I'll see Daniel Dale there, and he'll be fact-checking. And while he does have some points, there's also parts left out of a lot of the debates as well. And I don't see the same scrutiny being applied, for example, to Joe Biden's speeches or Kamala Harris's speeches. In fact, Kamala Harris just gave a speech just now where she had some falsehoods in her comments, didn't take any questions, and I know that there won't be any fact checks, or on her tweets there won't be that Twitter notification or anything like that. But do you think that this is enough of an impact to really change the effects of the November race?
Oh, the fact checking alone is the biggest joke in the world because it depends on who the fact checker is. A lot of the big tech organizations use the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is a far left group, as their fact checking. So it depends on who gets to be the judge, so who's in control of the fact checking. So the old fashioned way is you put your ideas and views out there and let the American people decide. That having this fact checking run by partisan groups just doesn't work. And big tech controls the platform, they control the fact-checking, therefore they control the narrative.
And I thought it was very interesting, building on that point, because I think that this is a topic that really is important to a lot of voters. I mean, a lot of people see this and they see their right to speak possibly being jeopardized, and they see that for conservatives especially, they might not have this same type of platform to have that debate that you're talking about. For example, sometimes even the rules that are written in these platforms may not be intentional, but it does counter a conservative perspective. And someone who speaks about that quite frequently is Missouri Senator Josh Hawley, who has been absent from the RNC. And I personally think that was a mistake because I think that not only is he representative of the future of the Republican Party, but he's someone who leads the charge on this issue as well. But I know that you are also very involved in this issue as well. In fact, you wrote an entire book about this very topic. Can you break down the contents really and what the argument you were trying to get across is?
Well, you're right. The Senate can only do so much, though. They're one vote, and you've got a divided House. So legislatively right now is not going to take care of the issue. So two issues that the public needs to know about that the president has actually issued an executive order on the Section 230 of Communications and Decency Act, which big tech is not following, meaning they're just like if you're the phone company, you're not allowed to censor a call between two individuals. And then you get liability protections against lawsuits. If something happens on that call, you can't be sued. You're safe under Section 230, and that's what big tech uses. A publisher, a news organization, like One American News is a news organization, you're liable for the content. We're liable for the content we put on because we're a publisher. They are not, and they're hiding under that protection. And also, they're also acting as a monopoly. There's the antitrust situation where they're buying up Facebook, bought Instagram. So any competitor that comes in the market, that's the definition of a monopoly. Yes, I wrote the book back in 2015. Is the reason I wrote the book. I was the founder of the Tea Party News Network, which was a huge grassroots news organization. We had almost 100 million viewers a month on our channel, and we had 10 million followers on Facebook. And Facebook in late February 2015 literally cut us off from our audience, crashed all of our content, our interaction with our audience, and put us out of business. So that's why I wrote the book. All that's detailed in there, and we were the first target, the first major target, because of the Tea Party name. And then now you can see over the past 5 years, everyone's been followed. Now they're all the way to the president.
Yeah, and I mean, that right there explains exactly what could happen. And I don't think a lot of people understand that it's not just necessarily political figures who are getting that notification put on their tweets. Sometimes it is big organizations like that, big groups, for example, on social media that lose their platform, and a lot of people don't even know about it because you can't have that conversation on the social media platforms to begin with. And I think when it comes to Section 230 as well, you're exactly right to say that these tech giants need to pick if they're going to be a common carrier of a sort or if they are going to have liability protections, because at this point, they're getting the best of both worlds, and it's coming to the detriment for a lot of people as well. So I think that there does need to be some action on this topic somewhat soon. But Todd, I appreciate you coming on tonight, breaking down this issue for us, because it's an important one going to the November race. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.